Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Karen.
We are Retired Young.
This week we visited Itasca State Park. And other than the invasion of the mosquitoes, the camp was a great place to camp.
And as with all national and state parks, we think the best way to experience it is in an RV.
RV is the way for me to see our great country. Hotels are so mega lame. Think I'll go and shoot some game. RV is the way for me to see our great country. Do-wop, do-wah, do-wop, do-wah, do-wop, do-wah.
Large part of the United States is drained by the Mississippi into the Gulf of Mexico. It's generally accepted that the source of the Mississippi is Lake Itasca. Veritas caput means true source in Latin. At least that's what Mr. Schoolcraft interpretation was. So we got rid of a couple letters at the beginning of Veritas and a couple at the end of caput to come up with Itasca. It's such a good name, they named an RV after it. Established in 1891, Itasca is Minnesota's oldest state park. The park totals more than 32,000 acres and includes more than 100 lakes. These are shots from the fire tower, which is near the Ayton Heights trailhead. As you can see, there are lots of lakes and lots of trees. Someone said the Hamm's beer commercials were filmed near here. You remember, from the land of sky blue waters. Anyway, the park feels bigger and more remote than a lot of the parks that are east of the Mississippi. There's the fire tower we were in a little bit ago. Here's the lake that the island is. The North Country Trail is 4,600 miles long and goes from upstate New York to North Dakota. It cuts across the southern part of Itasca Park. We planned to hike to the North Country Trail, but the mosquitoes chased us out and we only hiked 4.8 miles.
Mike and I like to do a lot of hiking. A long hike for us is around 12 miles. Here we are walking on one of the trails in the park.
Use this big blowdown thing, or log, for a lunch spot. Here's one of the backpack sites. Looks pretty remote. You would get your privacy. During our time at Itasca, Karen found time to work on her mosquito dance. They don't seem to bother me as much. Karen's a trooper, but unfortunately they do seem to leave her all bit up, and that's no fun. On the other hand, we thought the bike trail was awesome. There's one main loop, it's about 17 miles long. There are a lot of interesting places to pull off and explore, including some of the largest trees in Minnesota. I'm about halfway around the Wilderness Trail, about 7 miles. It's pretty nice back here.
Yeah, doing good. Working up a sweat.
Good.
It's like a roller coaster up and down.
It's for both the rich and poor to get outside and explore. Just get moving out the door. Better than an open sore. Keep more ways away from me to see our great country. Do-wop, do-wah, do-wop, do-wah, do-wop, do-wah. People don't like to think about their time quickly running out, so make the most of each day. Get out and do some senior play. RV is the way for me to see our great country. Do-wop, do-wah, do-wop, do-wah, do-wop, do-wah. The main bike trail is shown in the red loop. It seemed most people didn't go around the entire loop, but just rode up and down in the path on the east side.
A portion of the big loop is shared with cars, but not a lot, and most of that was one way, and we didn't see many cars. We give the bike trail an A. There are two campgrounds. We stayed at the Pine Ridge campground, and there were more tents than RVs. Bear Claw campground is smaller and near the water, but it does seem to have more RVs, including in Itasca and Itasca. The campgrounds are very popular and it's difficult to get a site with electricity on a weekend unless you call ahead. The park has three informational sites: the Mary Gibbs Interpretive Center in the north, the Visitor Center near the east entrance, and a museum between the two of them. There seems to be a lot of overlapping information between the three centers. The Mary Gibbs Interpretive Center seems to be where most of the buses park so people can get in easily to the headwaters. There's a store where you can rent kayaks, canoes, pontoons, bikes. Lake Itasca is a no-lake wake, so water sports are probably pretty good, although we didn't personally do them. There's some kayakers out in front of the headwaters. We visited the headwaters 4 or 5 times during our stay. One time in the evening, we were the only ones there. However, most of the times there was a crowd. Be careful when walking across the rocks. We must have saw 5 people slip and fall. They all did the same thing where they get up quickly and hope nobody saw them. Near the headwaters is Schoolcraft Trail. We walked there from the campgrounds and it was a very easy walk. Karen especially liked the fact that there wasn't many mosquitoes. On Schoolcraft Trail and it's beautiful, no bugs. Karen's liking that. Across Lake Itasca is the swimming beach we saw on the other side. There's the tour boat. Take a tour in the lake.
So to summarize, there was 2 things we didn't care for in the park and 3 things we really liked.
The mosquitoes were my worst.
So to summarize, there was 2 things we didn't care for in the park and 3 things we liked.
First thing that I didn't like was the mosquitoes. It just made our trail hiking miserable.
Second thing we didn't care for is we almost thought the park was overly developed. There's 3 visitor centers, there's 2 restaurants, there's a rental center, lots of cabins, almost seemed more like a resort than a park.
But on the positive side, we really enjoyed the 17-mile bike trail.
Second thing we liked was the campgrounds. They weren't packed in there like they are in some places, they're spread out nice.
And of course, you have to go across the Mississippi headwaters.
Your selfie shot's not complete unless you've got a picture in front of the Mississippi headwaters. Thanks for watching our video. Please subscribe to our channel. Come follow us. We are
Retired Young. You didn't do the cue. You gotta look at me when you